Well, last night, people were walking by my apartment and found out what's going on. None of this is funny. No, it's not. Mm-mm. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit funny. Not even a little bit. You have to be Satan possessed to find this funny. You know, I was cleaning my apartment. I know it's bugged from the protective light case, and these people sold it. So I'm walking around rambling. Because I know they can hear me because I leave and people say stuff. Okay? Protected home custody. I'm supposed to be in it. And they sold it. They hacked into the police protected custody and sold it to regular people to watch this like a reality show. None of this is funny. Nobody should know anything about the case unless I told them. And they already watch it like a reality show. Okay? And it's real life. And that's where people are realizing how not funny this is when they find out it's a retired judge for his baby girl and his drug friends and an occult doing it to me. And that's it. It's really not funny. Now, um, last I said I was walking around my apartment. I know it's bugged. I know they can hear me. So I'm giving them lectures. Okay? hmm And it's like, could you imagine where my old neighbor lives 3 or 4 houses down from 4490 John Thomas, Ravenna? That he said, her ex-husband showed up at a store, told everyone he didn't want her anymore, and asked all those people to help get rid of her. And it's been them doing it to her the whole time. And then Memorial Day weekend, 2019, food counter, a white woman to an African American man on Walmart 62. Screamed it out. They found the tape of that idiot woman saying this, for it's my daughter, her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spell, and it's for my daughter they did all this for. And our family watching her doing this. It's retired Judge Pete, friends with Ludick. He looks like a little white Santa Claus. His picture was hanging on the wall 9/18/19 of the courthouse, and they were joking around outside my room. It's them. It's his family for his daughter, Michelle. Even Dixie knew Michelle. And John's kids called her Auntie Shell. It's that sick, psychotic family doing it to me and their drug friends and that occult. That's it. hmm Could you imagine? Now, I was sitting in a service once, and they were talking about a scenario of this lady's life that she went out to the mall and she was devastated. And bad people found her there, and she ended up being a prostitute and da 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 da. He said, could you imagine if there would have been a Christian there and told her about God? Could you imagine if there had been a social worker, got her into a program? Could you imagine if there was good there instead of evil? Hmm? What would have been the different outcome on any level if there would have been good in that mall that day instead of evil? Where would that lady be today? And I told him about that service. I said, could you imagine if there would have been good in that store of Ravenna? And what if there would have been a Christian, of all things, and a man look at him and say, son, do you realize you just asked us all to kill your wife? Is she okay and where is she at? She's all right. Why would you want to kill her? Well, I'm cheating. You don't kill your wife because you're cheating and you want everything. We need to have a talk. Have you prayed about this? Do you realize you have children? Yeah. Do you have grandchildren? Yeah. Do they like your wife? They adore her. And you want to take her away from them. What is wrong with you? You need to stop letting Satan use you. And sit there and gave them a Christian talk of, oh my God, do you realize what you're doing? You need to pray, and we need to go get you some help, and we need to check on your wife. Could you imagine if there was a good person in there that wasn't a Christian? Dave came in and all those people said that. And he waited till he left and got his license plates and called the police and just told the police after he was gone of their plan. If there would have been good in that store of Ravenna, what would have been the difference? And it's coming down to this, too, where I called the hotline. I called the 1-800 hotline. I lived out in Portage County. I didn't know who to call. And where Dave said his girlfriend's family owned the place up there and I wouldn't be able to withstand. And I thought, well, that girl cost me my job. I'll go hire. I should have called the police, but I went hire. I called the hotline. Gave him like 70% of that shit. Do you realize Canton should have never got my case? I lived in Portage County. I Googled who was over Portage County. It's Akron. So what was an agent in Canton Courthouse getting it? For we called Will and explained Michelle. And he set her up. Walter, my old friend from the prosecutor's office, said they had problems with backdoor deals. People letting people get victimized and killed. And until somebody actually fixed it. Now, my recording yesterday, I made a lot of headway with people because you're thinking about it. Where that agent called me up. Now, he should have known nothing but the hotline. Where I gave him the 2 Perry police reports. He could have called the Perry police. Where Sarah from Zales, and then her old manager, older blonde lady, I think her name's Courtney, and her other coworker with brown hair and brown eyes went to work with Katie at Brothers at Ashcroft and Oak. That they all heard her say her church was going to have me murdered. And I told the hotline that. I had 3 witnesses. He could have went and talked to those women. There's nothing else. And where I said money disappeared, he could have looked into that. He should have not known anything. And where I called Sarah and I told him about Will, that where I told him about Will, and that I had called an agent, and because they kept saying, Karen, Katie cannot threaten your life that they're going to have, her church is going to have you murdered. Okay, they can't do that. They can't say they're going to have you killed. You need to call the police or a detective or some kind of agent or somebody, and you got to tell on her because she can't tell people in the mall her church is going to have you killed. It's conspiracy to commit murder. She should have went to jail. It's like 2 to 10 years, if not more, just for bragging they're going to have me killed. She didn't even get fined. So yeah, besides the basic information, he should have known nothing. Because how would they have found out? I called the hotline. Portage County Sheriff's never talked bad about me. Just had a trespasser on my property the month before that. And they told me out in the country to buy big dogs and let the dogs handle it if somebody come on the property at night. They weren't bothered with the trespasser. So that's the only officers I talked to. So they would never say anything bad about me because they told me they didn't know about these people. So, yeah. So, where I told Will what happened at Huntington Bank, where Dave had a phone call to make. And he hung up, and then I got a flu shot, and I got dizzy. I told you, front of Giant Eagle. I'll lay it out like this. The front of Giant Eagle, the far corner. Flu shot, long pharmacy, bench, ATM, Huntington Bank, help desk, and out. That's it. Get it? So I get my flu shot. I got to walk along the long pharmacy. I get dizzy, sit down on the bench. I hear the voice. I can't believe she's here, and it's coming from somewhere over in here. And I'm like, oh my God, it's him, the guy that tried to kidnap me. I go and I stand up and walk off. They come up behind me, him and a lady. I'd stab you right here and now if it wasn't for that security guard. And I freeze for a second. Are you going to stab her? Well, no. I won't make it out for that security guard. I turn my car into the thing. You'll have to do it in front of someone, into the bank. I want to open an account. And the Pizza Hut lady walks out and around in front of me. and next to me, I get paid to watch her. The banker's like, lady, stay out of it. She's like, no, I get paid to watch her. And she's laying her head down on the desk trying not to get caught on camera. And he's screaming at her, lady, no matter what, stay out of this. It won't be worth it in the end. Okay? And the guy that tried to kidnap me in front of Terry Coberly and tried to carjack me when Dave took off walks out and just threatened to knife me, walks out around me, and she walks off. Hmm? 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 And Dave calls me, and I put him on hold. I won't let him know he just did it. Now, when I tried to tell that agent what happened, you liar, you confess you're lying, or I'll arrest you. I'm like, what? Now I'm scared to death for my life. I've already almost been carjacked, almost kidnapped, followed, and rented. And it was linked back to that church and an attempted break-in. They knew where the security system was. He said my husband at the time was the main subject. Realizing it was all them the whole time and how stupid I was. And he's trying to call me a liar. And I'm like, what? You either say it or I'll arrest you and I'll put you in jail. And it's like, fine, whatever. Badgering somebody. See, I went out to eat with an officer. And we were talking. He said, people give their statements, if you believe them or not, you have to take it and follow through, or they can get you for badgering. I thought, that's the word I was looking for. I said, boy, that's a hot subject. Looked up the badgering laws, 1729, Department of Justice. He goes to jail for that. Oh, and then where the part, if you tell someone, I'll list you crazy. He said, and no one can help you. My friend from the prosecutor's office started laughing. That agent can't talk to you, and the police know they can't go along with it because it's illegal. Do you know they even acted like they had, made me a ward of the court? I'm a grown-ass woman. And that I had men in the court above me, and because I was listed crazy, and that they had to watch me. Do you know what it takes to have someone listed that? You have to be evaluated with special testing by a psychiatrist. You have to have, like 2 of them do it too. Then you have to go in front of a judge to have you committed for being insane. That never happened. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office. That agent can't do that, and he don't have that kind of authority, and he was out of line talking to you. Think of that one. And he can't say no one can help me from the FBI. He's not over the FBI. He may work there. And it's just a higher law enforcement. That's all it is. It's like a higher police department. They're investigators. Federal Bureau of Investigation. They're investigators. They're not Nazis. He's not over the FBI. He's not over the Department of Justice. He's just a worker there. He can't tell anybody else they can't help me in the FBI. He can't. And he can't tell the sheriffs they can't help me. He can't tell any police they can't help me. He's just a bad agent. A dirty one. And they know they can't go along with it.